by mode, median, mean. Because if distribution is symmetric, all these three measures of central tendency coincide to each other. We have a PDF of normal random variable as small fx equal 1 upon sigma root 2 by e raised to minus half bracket x minus mu upon sigma whole bracket square. It is a continuous function. So random variable takes values in the interval and normal random variable is defined on complete real line. So x takes value from minus infinity to plus infinity. Whereas parameter mu is also coming from real number minus infinity to plus infinity, may be negative, may be positive. Whereas sigma square is a variance, and we know that variance is a square quantity, so it never negative. So I put a condition on sigma as a standard deviation greater than 0. So whenever you define certain PDF, you have to put function with corresponding all parameters. All notations should be specified in proper way. Then the corresponding definition will be complete. After writing a function which is called probability density function of normal, my first step of fitting is estimation of parameters mu comma sigma square. I told before also, in case of fitting of negative binomial distribution, the meaning of fitting is to estimate, to predict, simply to say find unknown constants in the given function. In case of normal distribution, x is a variable, mu and sigma square are unknown constant labeled as parameters. So first step is to write a PDF. Second step is to estimate the parameters. Spelling should be corrected, P-A-R-A. For this, we write a new random variable ui equal xi minus a upon h. What is a? A is a middle value of xi's. What is h? It is a gap between xi's. Why this is done? This is done because if you made the calculation with original variable, the size of calculations are large. To reduce calculation size, we apply this method, which is labeled as change of origin and scale. So we have a benefit of defining a new variable by using old variable x. This new variable simplifies calculations. After defining ui, we get mu cap, value of parameter mu. When I put a cap, it is a value a plus h time u bar. And sigma square x, it is 2, where is it is sigma square equal to square of h sigma square u. So with the help of these two, you can decide, estimate the parameter mu and parameter sigma square. Now, what is u bar? U bar is nothing but mean of new variable summation fi ui upon capital N. And what is sigma square u? It is summation ui square fi upon capital N minus u bar square. So after having this formulae, I prepare a calculation table to get mu and sigma square. How we do that? Column number 1, class boundaries. Column number 2, midpoints. Column number 3, frequencies. Column number 4, new variable ui, written as xi minus a upon h. Then I write uifi, which I need here, and ui square fi, which I required here. So this is ui square fi. Now put the data and get the calculation of these columns. And by using this column, you get u bar, you get sigma square u, and so on. After having u bar, after having sigma square u, use this relation to get the answer for mu and sigma square. Step number 3, table to find expected frequency. Once you calculate mu and sigma square, you can go ahead to develop expected frequencies. Column number 1, upper class boundaries. We define a variable zi ui minus mu cap upon sigma cap. Ui is upper class boundaries. Mu cap, sigma cap you get from step number 2. After zi, find phi zi. Phi zi is a table value obtained from statistical table by locating value of zi. After this, you get a probability delta phi zi, delta means difference, phi zi plus 1 minus phi zi. That means if you want to find delta for this location, this minus this is to be written here. नहीं ना. So after finding a difference, after finding the difference, you get the probabilities. And then next column is capital N multiplied delta phi zi gives the frequencies. One more column is there that is not coming, looking here. How to find phi zi? Phi zi equal table value if xi less than equal to 0. That means here zi because this number is there. If your z is minus, answer is directly from table. And if your z is plus, you get 1 minus table as a phi zi. So this zi is here. After getting this, our first part of the practical is over. That is fitting of normal distribution. Now in the question, if they ask test for goodness of fit, then you have to start second part. Just like your fitting of NBD and test for goodness of fit. So second part is test for goodness of fit of normal distribution. Whenever we say test, you have to write some statement on the top of the test always. That is called as a hypothesis. H naught is a null hypothesis written as given data is good to fit against H1 given data is not good to fit normal distribution. So under H naught, we have a formula known as a test statistic. Chi-square 0, subscript is 0, summation I1 to k dash fi squared upon ei minus capital N. This complete formula follows chi-square with k dash minus r minus 1. Formula exactly similar what we did in previous practical fitting of NBD. After having calculation, we compare this by table value. If calculation greater than table, we reject the statement. Reject the statement means what? Given data is good to fit for normal distribution is rejected. That means this is accepted, not good to fit. If calculation is less than table value, then you accept. Accept means data is coming from normal distribution. That is the interpretation. Now you have third way of checking goodness of fit, that is called QQ plot. How to do that? Column number 1, I. It is a sequence. Suppose data has 7 classes, so I will be 1, 2, 3 up to 7. Then value of xi, that is a midpoint of given classes. Then you get a third column, I minus 0.5 divided by n. With the help of this, you get zi, that is phi inverse of this point. By using this, we prepared a graph, and by using a graph, if all the points coming on a straight line, then we say that data is coming from normal distribution. If data is totally random, not coming on a straight line, then we say data is not coming from normal distribution. Now here, phi of pi, pi is a probability. It is negative if pi less than 0.5. It will be positive if plot is greater than 0.5. And it is 0 if pi is 0.5. If pi greater than 0.5, then look 1 minus pi in the table and give plus sign. To decide the goodness of it by the QQ plot, draw the graph of xi versus zi. That means on x-axis, write a midpoint, and by using this, find a zi, which we can see detail in solving numerical example. How to draw the conclusion? If all point lies on a straight line, that is a linear, then given data is good for normal distribution, otherwise not. If points are scattered away from line, then given data is not good for normal distribution. So this is the end of explanation for fitting of normal distribution to the given data. Now we'll start first numerical example. Solution of first question. Class boundaries 20-25, 25-30 and so on up to the last value of class. After having class boundaries, find the midpoint. How to get midpoint? Sorry, this is not a midpoint. It is a frequencies. This is wrongly written xi. This is fi. In question 1, you have frequencies. This is a frequency. 8, 12, 15, 18, 39. And this is the life of tires in kilometer. We want to check whether this data coming from normal or not coming from normal. And for this, we apply the procedure. So this is your Fi. Now you get ui xi minus a upon h. X is midpoint here. So one column should be there for midpoint. How to get a midpoint? Lower limit plus upper limit divided by 2. So first midpoint is 22.5. 22.5 minus A. A is the middle of this data. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are two classes middle. 30-35, 35-40. So value of A may be the midpoint of this. May be the midpoint of this. Sometime may be average of these two midpoints. You have a choice. In this example, A is taken as midpoint of this. That's why in front of that it is 0. After getting ui, ui multiply fi. This multiply this. Then ui square fi. This is ui fi multiply again ui. That becomes 72. So this is your first table for estimation of parameters. I get u bar summation ui fi upon capital N, that is this much. I get sigma square u by using a formula sum of ui square fi by capital N minus square of u bar. Put the values in proper place with the help of calculation table. Simplify, you get sigma square u. Sigma mu cap is a plus h time u bar. Value of a is a midpoint of middle class. So this is assumed to be middle class. So you get value of ui 37.5 plus h, gap between the classes, class width, that is 5, into u bar, what you got here. So this number is written here in place of u bar. Therefore, I get mu cap 35.367. Then I will get sigma square x. It is equal to square of h multiply sigma square u. Square of h means 5 square. Sigma u, this is sigma u, put it here. Hence, I get sigma square x 7.5354. So, I have value for mu cap as a parameter. I have value of sigma square x as a parameter. Once I got parameters, I prepare a next table, that is table for calculating expected frequency. How to prepare? Column number 1, upper class boundaries, that is 25, 30, 35 and so on. Zi is ui minus mu cap upon sigma cap. Put the value in proper place and get the answer of Zi. Then get phi Zi. This column I will try to explain with the statistical table when the class will start offline. This column is from the statistical table. What is the clue? If value of Z is minus, answer directly from the book. If it is plus, answer is 1 minus book. That is to be remembered. After phi Zi, get a delta phi Zi. Delta means difference. So first number, no change. How to get second number? 2 minus 1 in front of 2. 3 minus 2 in front of 3. And so on. 1 minus this will be in front of 1. Total of delta phi Zi should be 1 because we have adjusted complete range of normal distribution. And you know PDF is nothing but integration of given PDF or the range always 1 theoretically as well as practically you are observing. We add one more class here, that is the most important part to remember. Class finished at 50, but due to the range of normal distribution, you have to take one more class, that is infinity should be written in front of upper class. So Z is infinity, so phi infinity is 1 because it is a distribution function. 1 minus before is here. Now delta represent the probabilities in the interval minus infinity to 25, then 25 to 30, 30 to 35 and so on. Multiply delta with capital N as the total frequency, you get expected frequency 6.40072 and so on. The total of expected, just like in NVIDIA I told, it should be capital N. Now in this example, capital N is 75. You can see now the total is coming 74.999. So what we did is absolutely correct. The examiner will check these 2 points. Total of probability should be 1 and total of expected should be capital N. This is your end of fitting of normal distribution. Now, if the question asks, also test goodness of fit, then you have to go ahead. So test for goodness of fit is second part. Begin with H naught, null statement. Given data is good to fit normal distribution against H1, given data is not good to fit normal distribution. Now for this, you have to prepare table class, frequency, expected frequency, Fi square upon Ei. This is given in the question. This is given in the question. Expected frequency, what you got in previous table, this column. So this column is written under expected frequency. Now last time I told for goodness of fit, expected frequency should be either 5 or greater than 5. You can check all numbers are greater than 5. So no pooling is required. So I get directly entire column. Square of 8 divided by this first calculation because it is Fi squared upon Ei. Make a total of this column. Therefore, chi-square calculated is equal to summation I1 to k dash Fi squared upon Ei minus capital N. Now this total is with you in the table, that is 76.2998 minus capital N is a total frequency, that is 75. Therefore, chi-square calculated is coming to be 1.2998. Let us see what is a table value. Chi-square k dash minus r minus 1. K dash, number of pooled classes having expected frequency greater than equal to 5. You can see all expected are greater than equal to 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So k dash becomes 6. Normal distribution has two parameters, so minus 2. Minus 1 by the formula. Answer is chi-square 3. So I get a statistical table at 5%, value of table is 7.815. Calculation is this and table is this. So calculation is smaller than table, so you have to accept the statement of H naught. And what H naught says? H naught says given data is good to fit for normal distribution. Now you can study goodness of fit by another method which is called QQ plot. Q means quantile. So by using a quantiles and original observed quantiles, if they match, data is good. If they does not match, then it is not good to fit. How to make the calculation? Column number 1 I, serial number 1, 2, 5, 6. Value of x as a midpoint of given classes. Then get an empirical distribution around 0.5. I minus 0.5 total divided by small n. I is 1, 1 minus 0.5, n is 6. Total values in a data. You get first calculation. I equals to, replace here, n is 6, get second and so on. Now for every value of this column, get a Zi. That is called as phi inverse of your cumulative distribution. So phi inverse of this column is here. We get these values again from statistical book. Now by using xi taking on x-axis, zi on y-axis, we draw the graph, and graph is look like this. This is your graph. This horizontal value is x and this vertical column is y. So we write value of midpoints. They are positive values. So this is your x-axis. And on zi, you take I minus 0.5 divided by n values and draw the points. You can see all the points are around this line. That's why conclude of question 1 is the data in question 1 is good to fit because all the points are on a straight line. And same thing is concluded by chi-square except h naught. That means data is good to fit for normal distribution. So in this practical, we have added a new topic, studying a goodness of fit of normal distribution by using QQ plot. Today at this stage, I will stop. Question number 2 we'll discuss tomorrow. If you have any type of difficulty, you can ask.